Hello, and welcome back to Crisis of Infinite Podcast. As you all may know, that the coronavirus pandemic has caused major issues this past year. I had planned to upload an episode where me and my friends reviewed Avengers Endgame and even tease a review for Godzilla King of the Monsters, but due to technical difficulties as well as personal drama, they were not uploaded. So like anyways, I'm going to introduce myself as well as my guests on the show, so you may know me as the host Mark, and my guests today are starting with...
Hello, my name is Nathaniel, and it has been quite some time since we have done this. Looking forward to spending more time with you guys here.
All right, thanks, Nathaniel.
How exactly does one introduce themselves?
Introduce.
That's what you said.
Yeah, sorry, I was speaking too fast because I was reading what I had on the docket.
Just go with the joke.
All right, sorry.
Shadow Spider friend. Yeah.
All right. Also known as Brian Green.
Strike that last remark.
All right. So
there is no Brian. There was never a Brian.
Anyways, like I said, the topic at hand is going to be about the pandemic, which is known as COVID-19, aka the coronavirus, and
demonetized already.
No. You got to get monetized before you can get demonetized.
Yeah, true. Yeah. So anyways, the first thing on hand is we're going to talk about how it affected us. So I guess I'll go first because before COVID even started, my life was very difficult to begin with, which is another reason I haven't been able to do any podcasts. And I'm not trying to make people feel bad for me or say that I had it worse than others. This is just how things happen. So I apologize in advance if I go on for too long, and we'll try to make it as short as possible. Ever since my dad passed away from cancer 4 years ago, it was not easy for me and my family, especially for me and my mom, and I was in a very dark place. Once my sister moved out, things basically, they went to shit. My mom wasn't working, but did some small-time jobs like Lyft and later on received unemployment. We barely had any money, and I was forced to take money out of my account at the time to overdraw it. We couldn't even afford water for our house. We had to save jugs and get them from our neighbors or my godmother's house, or had to use her place just to shower, or worst case scenario, just get a big bowl of water and bathe old school style, as well as put water in the toilet to flush it.
So my childhood, basically.
Oh, yikes.
Oh. Awkward.
Yeah. Okay. Well, we did have a roommate for a while, but it didn't work out. And before we left the house, we had some shady people try to help me and my mom out, but they weren't the best of people. And one of them still owes my mom money to this day. We ended up homeless, and we basically went to different hotels and motels. We stayed at my godmother's, but that didn't work out so well. And we went to live with another family who we personally knew that was living in Corona for about 8 months. And I even had to transfer from work as well. The family I stayed with made the Griffin family from Family Guy look like the Brady Bunch. Seriously, living there made Arkham Asylum look like a safe haven. I'm not even going to talk about them because they were just a bad memory, so I'll leave it at that. Luckily, my sister and her husband moved out of the apartment they were living in Brea, and they found a place in Chino. As far as the pandemic having an effect on me, it started back when I was still in Corona, and me and my mom were my mom was looking for work at the time when it all went down. When I heard news about it, I thought it would be like another swine or bird flu, where it was serious but nothing compared on this level to how it is now. Since I work in a grocery store, it took a major role with my job. The pandemic started on Friday the 13th, which explains a lot. The day it happened, I was scheduled to close, and customers were just fucking piling up all their shit, and I didn't even get my second break that night. I was supposed to get off around 11 p.m., but didn't get off till 1:30 a.m. The next day, almost every item, at least the essential foods, were gone, including toilet paper, which I still don't get, by the way. And my manager said that everyone has to wear masks now due to the mandate by our state's governor. My store had to put signs up to limit items and limit people by letting seniors be the first to shop, as well as closing the store early during the beginning of the pandemic. We even had to resort to using plastic bags that were a lot thinner than our original ones, despite giving them away for free, since we normally charge 10 cents a bag. The good news, however, is when things were bad, everyone got a $2 raise with what they already make normally in their paycheck. The holidays weren't the best of times either because everyone in my family, including myself, tested positive. However, it was just mild symptoms. Unfortunately, the guy who me and my mom lived with in Corona, his dad passed away from it because he had other issues such as type 2 diabetes.
I was going to say, I think I can explain the toilet paper thing.
All right.
It's the one thing you can't really substitute. You know, like with paper towels, you can just use napkins or washcloths or stuff like that.
Yeah, there's also wipes, kind of like baby wipes.
There's also a bidet.
Yeah.
How many people have that though?
True.
Yeah.
You can't really substitute toilet paper and the ability to flush it.
Yeah, that's true. Or else we have to resort to leaves and twigs.
And who wants that?
Yeah.
But Mark, you are Ape Man. You already go in forest.
Wait, hold on. What me look like? Some sort of ape man? How that funny? If me ape, why me kill for banana? John Trump joke, everybody.
Okay. I was wondering where that came from.
If it's coming out of Mark, it's 99%. No, half the time it's a John Tron joke. The other half it's
Jim Ross.
I don't know. It's something else. What's
Like-
the other thing you mainly watch?
What I watch?
I quote.
Oh, or quote, maybe like TF2.
Yeah, the other half it's TF2.
It's a lot of stuff. Or like sometimes like old Simpsons.
Was there a dark place, man? It's a dark time. You don't know what I've done. You don't know what I've killed.
Oh yeah, and him too. Zach from Oni Let's Play and Sleepy Cast. A lot of shit, but 99.9% I quote is Jontron. So, anyways, how did it affect you guys? Let's start with you, Brian.
It kind of didn't. I mean, I basically have spent my life living in a bubble, and this was just going back into that bubble for a year.
That's it?
No, I mean, I've actually, honestly, I've kind of come out ahead a little bit in the fact that I've been, I got myself an internship and have been doing work and gaining experience, and I'm looking for higher, better jobs. So I'm kind of starting to make my way up the employment ladder, climb that ladder.
That's good.
Climb that ladder, hoik. Climb it.
How about you, Nate?
Well, similar to Brian, I don't go out much, so it doesn't really affect me. But it did affect my school. I had to switch from going to campus to going online, and that took some getting used to.
Yeah, because this was during when my niece was going to kindergarten. She had to do the whole social distance learning thing too, and that was pretty hectic because she wouldn't listen to her parents. She would just like scream and yell at them and all sorts of chaos. But she did later on went to school around like March, I believe.
What is this outside you speak of? The outside world does not exist.
Yeah. Anyway, you could only take so much from this pandemic, especially with the news media just shoving it down your throat, and then there was the whole riots from last year.
Yeah, well, like I said,
you merely adopted the quarantine. I was born in it, raised in it. I didn't see the outside world until I was a man.
Yeah, well,
and you know what? I wish I could say I was exaggerating with that, but honestly, I'm kind of not.
Yeah, I know.
Also, I kind of apologize for Nate mentioning the riots.
I'm not going to go into it.
Yeah,
I'm not going to go
good.
into it. I'm just going to say that because of all that stuff, I'm like, I need.
It
something.
just got monotonous, basically.
It just got monotonous. I got tired of seeing it, and I even resorted to like going back and watching old children's shows. I sat through and watched every episode of Babar for crying out loud.
Babar?
Yeah,
Babar,
the elephant.
The elephant.
Okay, see, I mostly watched Let's Players a lot.
I needed
For
something.
entertainment.
Oh, yeah.
I needed something wholesome.
Yeah. Well, that's the next topic at hand. Basically, what we did in our spare time. So I'll go first.
I didn't get to say my sister also ended up getting it.
You told me about that.
My sister ended up getting the disease.
Yeah.
And she was quarantined inside my mom's room for the duration.
Yeah. I mean, my uncle had it, but he also had to go to the hospital, and he's also type 2 diabetic, but he made it out okay.
I've had a couple of family members who have had it, and all but one made it out okay.
And that was you?
No, I mean, all but one made it out and recovered.
Oh. Yikes.
Yeah,
but you didn't get it because otherwise you would have probably told me.
Yeah.
All right. So, anyways, this is what we did on our spare time. I'll go first. Besides work keeping me busy, I caught up with the Marvel Netflix shows, as well as watched South Park, Star vs. the Forces of Evil, played some games, watched podcasts of AVGN, Nostalgia Critic, Batmay, which is Channel Awesome programming that talks about all the animated episodes of Batman the Animated Series, etc. I was able to beat GTA San Andreas, as well as Mortal Kombat 11, DBZ Kakarot. I got the Avengers game, but I was not able to get the Miles Morales game yet. I was able to download Future Fight. I installed HBO Max, watched Mortal Kombat and the Snyder Cut, and watched documentaries of WWE wrestlers. And I also went to a Fathom event with you for the 30th anniversary of TMNT, and saw GVK, Godzilla vs. Kong, twice.
Yes, those were great movies.
Because with the Snyder Cut, I'm going to say this. I know that Zack Snyder is infamous for his tropes, but I actually enjoyed the movie. Even though it wasn't comic accurate, like there were characters throwing F-bombs and like dark edgelords and whatnot, but I think there were only like 2 or 3 moments that made me go, really, Snyder? Really?
I mean, being better than the original Justice League cut was not exactly a high bar. That's the big thing. You got to judge it's like not just, oh, this is better than the original cut. It's like, okay, is this good on its own? And, would this have done well as a cut in half 2-part thing in theaters? Who knows?
I just refused to watch it.
Well, I understand because you're not a fan of Snyder, but this one coworker at my work, he loves Zack Snyder. But I guess more power to him.
I will say he is a good visual director.
Absolutely.
He is not a good writer.
Yeah, I mean, I'll give Snyder 2 points. I'll give him a point of obviously what you said. He's very good visuals. He knows how to do visuals.
He is not. He is not a storyteller.
I'll also give him a point that he doesn't seem to be an asshole. He does seem to be a bit artsy, I would say. That kind of, your typical kind of like, I make art. I make things that make you think. It's like, he does seem to be
kinda
a bit
like
artsy.
Shyamalan?
Kinda, yeah. But I think he also is, like, he gets along with his fandom. He enjoys his fandom.
Yeah.
He doesn't disrespect his fandom.
But most of the fans are kind of toxic.
I mean, that happens with...
That's every fandom.
Okay.
There's
You
a
and-
toxic...
You and I are hardcore Godzilla fans. You and I both know that even our fandom is pretty bad.
Yep.
The problem becomes when you've got creators who encourage that kind of behavior.
Yeah.
Because there's still some people that won't let go of the Emmerich Godzilla. And there's some people that kind of make Godzilla more OP than he already is. Let's see. Going back to Snyder, like, these are kind of spoilers for the Snyder Cut. When Cyborg was learning to fly, it totally ripped off the scene from the first Iron Man movie.
Spoiler, Superman comes back to life.
Oops. And yes, they did the whole Jesus thing with him, where he's flying in the sun with his arms crossed. I'm all, really, Snyder? Really?
We get it.
Yeah. Oh, speaking of Snyder, he wants to do a DBZ movie.
That is a terrible idea.
I mean, I can actually see him doing an anime movie, just not DBZ.
He can do Berserk.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, like, well, with DBZ, I mean, the visual effects with Snyder's vision would look good, but I don't know about the writing because how do we know he's not gonna make Goku like Jesus like he did with Superman?
Isn't his number one writing partner Goyer?
I think so, but I think Goyer got let go or something. I don't know, but I know.
Did Goyer write
Justice League?
Yeah. Because I know that Joss Whedon rewrote a large amount of it, but did they use Goyer's original script for the
Snyder Cut?
Yeah.
I don't know, but I do remember a quote that Goyer said because they asked him about Martian Manhunter. He says, "Oh,
yeah,
only...
that's an old quote, but it's like
Yeah.
it speaks fully to his character and why he's
Yeah, but spoilers: Martian Manhunter was in the Snyder Cut as a cameo.
yeah.
But I actually did have ideas of like who could be in the DBZ movie. Like I had 2 actors in mind that could be Frieza, either Bill Skarsgård, the guy that plays Pennywise, or Tom Hiddleston.
Isn't Bill kind of tall?
Well, yeah, but at the
He's
I
kind of
mean,
tall for the role.
yeah, but
They
you,
could probably
you,
CGI him.
yeah,
to make
you can
him
get
shorter.
around that. I mean, hell, they had to do that with Tony Stark to make him as tall as Chris Evans. You can size up actors when you need to.
Yeah, true.
Fair enough.
I mean, they did that with the dwarves in the Huntsman movie.
Oh, they did?
Yeah, most of those guys like came up to like waist height compared to the main actor, but it's like in reality they would probably come up to like shoulder length.
Yeah. Let's see.
Size
So,
isn't really a big factor
yeah.
these days.
So, when I beat Kakarot, I'm like, okay, I'm probably going to delete it, but then the new DLC's coming out for History of Trunks, so most of the games, like, if I beat it, I delete it. But if it's like a really good game I enjoy, like a multiplayer fighting game like Street Fighter, Mortal Kombat, I keep them.
Is there a way to save the completion save? Like delete the data but keep the save file in case you ever want to re-download it and play it?
You can delete the actual app file and re-download it, but I don't know about what you said.
Well, because that's one of the things I really hate. That's one of the things that kind of bugs me with computer games that I need to figure out a fix for is finishing it and then getting a new computer, installing everything, and got to play through this game all over again.
Fuck that.
So it's like I need to figure out a better way to back up my saves.
So, Mark.
Yeah?
How did you feel about Kamala Khan featuring me with the Avengers?
Oh, the Avengers game?
How did you feel about Kamala Khan, the video game featuring the Avengers?
I still need to play that. I bought it.
Well,
don't
when it was
bother.
on, well, I bought it when it was on sale. To be fair,
Aye.
On
I
Steam?
bought it recently on Steam when it was
Well,
on
you're not
sale.
going to get Spidey.
I just kind of wanted to play. It was on big discount.
I know what you mean. But, well, Kamala, in this game, she's actually tolerable. And no, they didn't do the whole, oh, I'm Muslim in your face type of thing.
Didn't help the sales though.
Nope. People
Yeah.
wanted to play the Avengers. People wanted to follow their adventure, not Kamala.
Yeah, because I can understand the story mode and that, like, when the end game content, there isn't really that much because it's just repetitive, like, oh, aim bots, aim droids, and aim this, aim that.
They did do good on MODOK, though.
Yeah, he did look cool.
I mean, even if you don't get
That's
into the
odd
whole
to say. MODOK looked cool.
like, even if you don't get into the whole Kamala thing, it's like, which honestly I've heard that she was done fairly well. I mean, the main thing is the gameplay, the game cycle just wasn't fun. So you're gonna have a lot of people drop off.
There's that, and there is not a big roster.
Yeah, not only
Yeah,
that,
that's true.
well, there is
That
DLC. They got Kate Bishop, they got Hawkeye, and now they're gonna get Black Panther. They're gonna get Spider-Man for PS exclusives only.
I don't know if they're gonna get around to
I
Spider-Man.
don't know. I don't know either.
I don't think they're gonna get around to that.
With the way it's performing right now, I'm pretty sure it's going to be dead on arrival before any of these other
Can you
characters
play the
come out.
solo thing like without an internet connection?
I think so.
Okay.
I don't know, but I do know that for the DLC they have like new bosses, like instead of just Abomination and Taskmaster, like they got Maestro. Black Panther's gonna have Claw.
But yeah, I mean, there was a video just like less than a week ago saying that game, well, not even new, just an update saying that game is still,
Tanking.
bleeding player base like a sieve.
Yeah, I mean, like, I just take a break from it, and then, like, when something new happens, I go back to it. Like, if I want to, like, upgrade my characters or, like, play the new DLC and whatnot. Because I got, like, a whole bunch of other games that I still need to play, as well as other shows I still need to watch.
Yeah, I need to watch Invincible. I've heard good things about it.
Yeah.
Think, Mark. Think.
Here we go with the memes.
You are now a meme, Mark.
Yeah.
Oh, that's great.
No. Make a NFT of yourself and sell it.
That should
NFT.
Oh, you don't know what that is?
No.
Oh man! Now, if you guys ever do an Invincible podcast, we have to have a drawing meme of Mark lying down in the rubble with Brian going, "Think, Mark, think."
That would be great.
Yeah.
That would be the perfect thumbnail.
Oh, really? So I'm a meme all of a sudden, implying that the whole "Oh hi Mark" wasn't a meme from the start.
Oh, that's true.
That's true. That's true.
NFT,
You just have 2 memes under your belt
NFT stands for non-fungible token. It's basically, it's kind of like a virtual version of, you know, when you buy something and it comes with an authenticity certificate?
Yeah.
It's basically a virtual version of that. And people have been making big money by selling NFT versions of various things. Like, okay, people have been some people have literally been making like hundreds of thousands of dollars selling NFT versions of memes.
You mean like Pepe?
Not I, but kind of like that. Yeah, the one I heard wasn't the one I saw the story on wasn't Peppy, but it was like one of those, like the Doge meme.
Oh, the Doge.
Yeah, like somebody bought like an NFT version for like a couple $100,000, and it's just like, what?
Well, that was a waste of money. You can go
I'm-
online and get it for free.
Yeah, that's kind of where I'm coming from with that. It's just like how. I mean, the idea is NFT version is, quote, a authentic version, and you can't replicate it because of the coding involved. But at the same time, I feel like, well, yeah, but I can just get a...
It's not tangible.
Yeah.
There's no tangible value. There's no physical value. So why put money into it?
Why would you do that? Why would you do any of that?
I mean, the best way I can describe it is it's kind of like in an online game where they'll have
Like cryptocurrency?
no. Here's the way I kind of look at it. I play a lot of Duel Links on mobile. You know, obviously when you open packs, sometimes you'll get hollow versions of a card. To me, that kind of seems like essentially what this NFT thing is. It's basically an ultra rare version that can't be replicated that you have and can sell for a lot. And again, like with any collectible, it's dependent on how much people are willing to sell it for. But it's like at the same time, it's like I can just download the regular version at any time. Why would I care if it's an NFT version or not?
Yeah. Is there anything else on the docket, or?
Well, I was gonna go back.
Well, yeah,
to...
I mean, neither of us really said what we did.
Oh, during your spare time?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Yeah. Sorry about that. Go ahead, Nate.
Well, in addition to working online with school, I ended up taking up. I'm trying my hand at writing. It's still a work in progress. Whenever I sit down and write, sometimes the words flow and sometimes they don't. And when they don't, it's something
Like a writer's block?
yeah, kind of like a writer's block. But at the same time, while I'm writing, I'm also thinking, and I end up coming up with something my friend on Twitch called analysis paralysis.
Okay, I'm interested. Can you explain that?
It's when you're thinking about what you're writing, but then you overthink about everything else to the point where you just stop. Where you're like, okay, how about I begin like blah 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 blah. No. That would conflict with something else in the future.
Oh yeah, that happens a lot where it's like you change something and it's just like, oh crap, now I got to change 20 other things to change this one thing.
And before you know it, an hour passes by and you've just written like 2 sentences.
Yeah.
Well, going back to the Avengers game,
And then my sister ended up getting a dog.
oh,
I
I think I saw your new dog.
Yeah. I walk him every single morning, and that's how I've been getting my exercise. And it's something I look forward to because when I get home, that's when I like pick a cartoon series to watch and watch 1 episode a day. I don't binge.
I'm in shape. Round is a shape.
That's a Garfield reference.
Yeah, you need Lorenzo Music's voice.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Or Bill Murray.
Nah.
Nah.
I mean, I like Bill Murray, but he sucked at Garfield.
But to be fair, he didn't want to do it.
Yeah.
He thought he was doing something else.
Yeah.
Ooh.
And like right now, I'm going through the DC animated universe. So that's pretty much.
What are you on?
Let's see. I'm following this watch order I found online, and I've just finished Batman the Animated Series.
All right, I'm trying to remember. Did Superman come first or Batman?
Batman came.
Yeah,
Batman
Batman
came first. So at some point, he merges like the New Adventures of Batman and the Superman animated series in the same lineup in the watch order.
Yeah,
So-
because eventually Superman and Batman do meet up in an episode.
Exactly. So it's like an episode of Superman, an episode of Batman, 2 episodes of Superman, an episode of Batman.
Yeah, because the design used in the Superman, the animated series, when he shows up, is the design that at the time was being used for, I believe, the New Adventures of Batman and Robin.
And
or
this is-
it was, I think it was the 4th season design.
I have sat through the Batman animated series before. I've sat through all of it before. But I have not seen the Superman animated series, and I am loving it.
Yeah, it is very good.
And it makes me look forward to Justice League. I have 2 more episodes of Superman, and then it's the Justice League.
When you rewatched Batman, did you kind of look at some of those episodes differently, kind of viewing them as an adult versus watching them when you were like, I don't know, a kid or?
Oh, I didn't watch them when I was a kid.
Oh, you didn't? Oh, okay.
No, I was obsessed with dinosaurs, Godzilla, and Beast Wars.
Oh, okay. What do you think of the kind of experimental route that they took for the first season? Because I've watched some documentaries on that show, and the idea was, well, number one, it was hard to get that idea off the ground because the network wanted Robin from the get-go, so they had a lot of pushback in terms of putting Robin in and just wanting to focus on Batman. And the whole thing was, they wanted to kind of do a very deep character piece, and it's like, they really wanted to explore the idea of Batman and Bruce Wayne, not just the idea of Batman as a crime fighter. They wanted to explore him as a person.
In the earlier seasons, I loved what they've done with Batman and Bruce Wayne. Because if you listen closely, you could hear like the tonal pitch go in different directions when he's Batman and when he's
Bruce Wayne.
when he's Bruce Wayne. It's not like Christopher Nolan where it's all gravelly.
Did you also
It's
watch
more-
Mask of the Phantasm?
Yes.
Okay.
Mask of the Phantasm is a must. It is the
It's so
best.
sad that bombed.
It is the best representation of Batman in his true iconic form.
Yeah. I mean, I'm not surprised that it bombed just because movies based off of shows put in theaters rarely do well,
Yeah.
unfortunately. I can only think of like that's the whole reason that we didn't get a Chip and Dale movie. They put DuckTales in theater, and they were going to do a Chip and Dale movie after
the
that.
DuckTales bomb.
Yep, and same reason they put Transformers in theaters, and then it bombed, and then I think they either scrapped or just made it for TV. It's like either G.I. Joe or something else, another one of those 80s
Yeah.
shows that they were gonna put in theaters, but the Transformers movie, for as much as it's loved, it bombed.
Didn't the Goofy movie technically bomb?
I think it did okay.
Yeah.
It did well enough that it got a direct-to-DVD sequel, which,
Well, it's goofy.
yeah.
All right, so going back to the Avengers game, I wanted to say that I think the reason why there were so many players that dropped out is because of technical issues and like with all the updates they had to do, because I was experiencing some of that shit, which sucked. And
Yeah, but those technical issues should not exist. That's on the developers.
yeah, not only that, but the one thing that does suck about the game is that once you pick a character and you have a team, you can't switch back and forth like you can with Ultimate Alliance.
Yeah.
That's what sucks. But I mean, I kind of enjoy it, but it can be a little bit tedious and grindy, especially how it's sponsored by 5 Gum. Like, you go to the store, you see 5 Gum, and it says, "Oh, you can get a exclusive gear from the game."
I
Yeah.
mean, is it any worse than Final Fantasy 15 being sponsored by Cup of Noodle?
I,
Oh man.
I
video
kinda
game,
w-
in-game video game sponsorships need to stop.
Yeah.
I don't know. Part of it's kind of funny when it's just such a juxtaposition like that.
You mean like the Street Fighter tournaments?
No, I mean when it's done in a humorous way. There's ways to do that and have it be humorous.
Yeah, because the thing I just mentioned, there's nothing humorous about like company logos on.
Yeah, no,
Brioski.
that's stupid. And I mean, there are ways to work it in. Like they worked it in very well in Sonic Adventure 2. Like part of the funding for that game came from soap shoes, and so it's just like throughout that game, Sonic is wearing those shoes, and a lot of people like that design. So it's like there's a couple of ways where you can integrate it well, and then there's also a couple of ways where you can kind of just make fun of it. Like basically kind of do a Wayne's World thing where it's like, we would never sell out like that. What kind of soulless people would sell their soul to a corporation like that? Where and then he's like just wearing all the
Drinking Pepsi.
yeah, while he's wearing all the corporate logos. And to be fair, they did that specifically to make fun of it and also because they had to. Again,
Yeah.
they had to do sponsorships. So not only did they do the sponsorship just all in that one scene, but they used the fact that they had to do those sponsorships to make fun of in-movie sponsorships. And I think if you kind of do that where you're poking fun at like, yeah, we have to do this, but we're going to take the piss out of it, like that makes it very fun.
Yeah.
What else was I gonna say? Oh yeah, I think it had to do with the Mortal Kombat movie, the new one that came out. Well, I mean, I'm glad that it had the fatalities and all, but some of the shit that they did, I didn't like how they said that like in order to unlock your hidden potential, like you have like this comma or whatever, and like
You mean chakra?
yeah, or chakra or whatever. Like with some characters, it kind of made sense, but with,
So wait, they're Naruto characters?
but with Kano, it did not make sense because we know that he has a cybernetic eye that has heat vision. He unlocked that ability. Yeah,
I just think having Kano in there instead of Johnny Cage was a big mistake.
yeah,
I heard he's going to be in the sequel though.
yeah.
It doesn't matter. You should have had Johnny Cage there at the forefront with those heroes,
Yeah.
not a
Also-
two-timing backstabbing SOB like Kano.
Yep. Not only that, but Shang Tsung didn't do a damn thing in the movie. Well, he did one thing. Spoilers. He kills Kung Lao.
Well, Kung Lao is destined to die
Oh.
sometimes.
I mean, it at least did well enough that they're going to spin it off into like its own universe. But I got to wonder how much is that because it's doing good and how much is it because all these streaming sites are looking for content. You know, a lot of streaming sites are just like, what can we grab and turn into a universe to make content
Yeah.
out of?
those streaming services are just,
Yeah.
which makes me happy that Godzilla and Kong helped save movie theaters.
Yep. Come hell through high water, I was ready to see that movie. The pandemic was not going to stop me from seeing that.
Well, I think a big part of it is I think these companies are realizing that the money that they make, at least from these big tent poles, like these huge movies, they're not going to be offset by the subscription growth that they get on their streaming services. You know, it's like $800 million is not going to be made up by like 4 or 5 million new subscribers who may just jump ship after a month.
Let's see. I know I have a lot of shows I need to catch up on. So here's a list of what I have. Hunter x Hunter, Attack on Titan, Hero Academia, possibly JoJo's, because, I mean, I felt like Part 3 was just so, like, amazing. Like, it ended on a high note for me. So I don't know if I want to continue JoJo's. Pop Team Epic. It's a comedy show that was on Toonami about these anime girls, and I thought it looked funny. Primal. Come on, it's Gendy Tartavinsky.
Yeah.
Tartakovsky.
Oh, Tartakovsky, yeah. Come on. Close Enough. Same guy that did regular show. Mike Tyson Mysteries, because I like Mike Tyson. Black Lightning. Flash, Legion, Arrow, possibly Krypton. I don't know.
I don't know. A lot of those shows go pretty bad.
Yeah, probably
a
not.
A lot of WB shows
Yeah,
go down the
CW.
shitter and turn into teen drama.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I did watch first few seasons of Supergirl, but I think it kind of got a little too woke for me, so I'm probably gonna drop that. I refuse to watch Batwoman.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. No,
Nobody watches Batwoman.
Yeah.
They're trying to bring in Batwing. Like that's gonna help
Yeah.
save it.
Oh, this was hilarious. I love this. It was funny. I saw a video on them announcing the Batwing, and I looked down in the comments. So many people thought it was Nightwing.
Oh.
So many people were just like, "Why did they race swap Nightwing?" It's like almost nobody realized that Batwing was an actual character.
Yeah.
Everybody thought it was
Dick Grayson.
Dick
Nightwing.
Grayson. Yeah, they thought what they do to Dick Grayson.
Well, they have the Titans show that's on HBO Max, but
I'm not watching that.
Yeah,
Nope,
neither am
not
I.
watching-
Neither am I.
No.
I might watch what is it? Doom Patrol. That's on my list.
Yeah, I do need to catch up with Young Justice.
Yeah, I need to
really
watch
need to
Young
catch up
Justice
with
too. Like I haven't seen any of the new seasons. That's on my list as well. Loud House, Casa Grande, which is the spin-off.
I've heard that show also goes.
Woke.
No, I heard it just kind of goes downhill.
Oh.
One of the things I've heard is that it really just starts treating Lincoln like
shit.
Like shit. Yeah.
Oh, poor Lincoln.
Well,
Where
and
it becomes so focused on
The girls.
Well, not the girls, but just on episode. It kind of is a case of it starts focusing on character episodes a lot. You know, like here's a Lisa episode, here's a Luna episode, here's
Lori,
Lori
Lana.
But the
I forgot
problem
all their
is
names.
Lincoln is still in all of them, and the problem is Lincoln ends up being the one a lot of times who has to help fix it, so he kind of gets dragged through the ringer a lot
Yeah.
trying to help his sisters.
yeah, no.
So I don't think it's so much, it means to do it. It's just the way the story ends up being structured a lot.
Let's see what else is on my list. Cloak and Dagger. I kind of wanted to see it, but
I wouldn't.
yeah. Anime.
That's the thing that was on Freeform.
Yeah.
Didn't that only get like a season or
I think
two?
it was on Hulu. Animania. It's not the new one, but like I want to catch up on the old one.
I found Prince!
No.
Fingerprints.
I don't think so.
Oh man, I'm so glad I got those DVDs. I didn't get the last DVD, so I need to catch up on it. Gumball. Possibly Steven Universe. Maybe because I haven't seen Future, but I got
Neither have I, and I have no plans to.
Yeah,
I
I got spoiled through Death Battle.
I stopped watching Steven Universe at the baseball game with all those rubies.
I mean, I finished
And
it,
I
but
just- and
near,
I just-
near the end, I kind of just fell off, and I just finished it just to finish it.
And I'm like, I feel like there's a time and a place for like villain redemption arcs, but you don't have to redeem every single
I
bad
know,
guy.
right?
Yeah, that's one of the things people have said. It's just like it tries to redeem everyone.
A part of mythology.
Except for Jasper.
A part
No,
of
I
mythology,
think she gets redeemed in
Really?
Future.
a part of mythology and part of storytelling in general. When it comes to hero stories, you need to have like this define what is evil and have the hero overcome that.
Well, I mean,
But and you can do that through a redemption, but you still need that elemental force of evil that is like that has to be conquered, where it cannot be redeemed. It
Yep.
has to. You have to find a way to overcome that.
well, I mean that's a bigger problem that people have talked about is you now have so much of these shows being like, we have to show that the bad guy isn't bad. The bad guy
It's
either
misunderstood.
yeah, they're misunderstood, or they turn into a good guy, or something like that. That they can be redeemed, and it's just like you can have a bad guy that you sympathize with,
but
but
still is a villain.
Still a horrible person.
Yeah, I mean, I felt that same way with Kingpin and the Daredevil show on Netflix.
Well, I mean, the example I often go to, that I'm always going to go to, for how to do that magnificently is Magneto.
Yeah.
He's still the
Yes.
quintessential example of how you do that.
Yes,
you
you
understand why he's doing it.
You even sympathize with him, but
But
at the end of the
you-
day, he is a monster.
Yeah.
Yeah, at the end of the day, he's still a murderer, and his ultimate goal is still to flat out commit genocide.
Yep.
You understand what drove him to do that, but that doesn't make his actions.
I know.
Just
Because even in the Ultimate
right.
Comics, Xavier compared him to Hitler, and that triggered him to the point where he broke his own best friend's neck. But we don't mention Ultimatum.
Yeah, we don't mention Ultimatum.
Yeah, we don't. Nope.
But it's
what
like, I mean, Cruella. The Cruella movie just
Oh
came
my
out.
God!
I didn't see that.
No, yuck.
Let's
You
not
don't-
talk about that.
You don't try to make a puppy killer.
I know,
redeemable.
right?
Yeah. I mean, that's the problem. They keep trying to make all these villains redeemable. It's just like, you don't have to make them redeemable. You just have to give
Make them relatable.
No, you just have to make their reasoning make sense.
Oh, speaking of villains,
But sometimes I think it might be scarier where their reasoning does not make sense,
Yeah.
and they just do what they do to fulfill their own selfish desires.
It has to at least make sense to them.
you mean kind of like with Frieza, like he just kills just because?
To a degree, yeah.
Well, that's because he's a coward. He's afraid of people being more powerful than him. That's why he committed mass
I think
genocide
a better
against the Saiyans.
example is Riddler, where it's like, dude, you're a genius. You could easily make an actual living. And it's just like, no, the world screwed me over one too many times. I don't care at this point. I just want to screw it over the way it screwed me over.
Yeah.
Or either that interpretation or constant obsession with trying to one-up Batman.
Yeah.
Well, that on top of it, yeah.
Yeah, that
See,
too.
what else is on my list?
Heck, I remember a comic where he actually did try to go straight and actually tried to leaving clues for Batman to catch bad guys. But in the end, he ended up revealing his location inadvertently, and he
Or
was
another-
so pissed off that that happened.
Or another example is some versions of Mr. Freeze that'll take place when his wife is, completely gone. There's no wife to save.
Oh,
And at that point, he's got nothing left. And all he's living for at that point is destroying the happiness of others the way that his happiness
Yeah.
was destroyed. Like, it's like, Victor, you could do so much with your power, but it's like, at that point, he's too far gone.
Yeah. Speaking of villains, I heard that Joker's getting a sequel, but they said it's going to be based off of the Three Jokers storyline.
I read that, and it wasn't a bad story, but it kind of was just like, what was the point?
Yeah.
It felt like the only point of that was to tie up the whole idea of there being three Jokers.
Because I even said that, I know I told Nate about Joker. I'm like, you got to see. He says, no, I refuse. And I said, well, I even told him, well, the Joker's origin is multiple choice. And even though it's not comic accurate,
It is actually a good movie. It's very tightly paced. It's one of the best paced movies I've seen.
I understand, and I'm still not going to watch it.
All right.
All right.
Well, more power to you. I mean, it's a good standalone DC movie, but I mean, you got your opinions, we got ours.
Yeah.
So more power to you.
Yeah.
What else is on my list? One Punch Man. I've only seen one season.
I saw the first season as well.
Gotham. I have the final season to watch. Legends of Tomorrow. It gets pretty watchable. And in one of the crossovers, like the first Crisis crossover, it got pretty emotional. Runaways, that was good. Shivering Truth, Young Justice, Mr. Pickles, My Mama Named Me Sheriff, probably American Dad, I don't know. Doom Patrol, maybe Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., The Boys, I know that's good. Rick and Morty, Stargirl maybe, and Superman and Lois. Yeah, those are all the shows I got to catch up on.
Yeah, I've heard Superman and Lois is pretty good.
Yeah, but I heard that his son is kind of emo.
Daddy never loved me.
That is so. The emo teenage son has become too cliche. Honestly, Tomasi and Gleason did fantastically with Jonathan's character in the comics.
Son, what are you doing? I'm trying to cut myself.
It dulls the blade.
Yeah.
No,
you're
he
not
gets a
cutting
kryptonite
yourself,
razor.
You're cutting the blade.
He gets a kryptonite razor.
Well, no, that's the joke. He doesn't have a kryptonite knife. So he just keeps breaking the damn knives over his wrist.
Oh, God. Yeah, speaking of emos, I want to make this joke. I mean, I liked as much as I liked Avengers: Earth's Mightiest Heroes. I didn't really like Holt's design because he looked like an emo. So, in order for him to slit his wrist, is he going to use Wolverine?
See, now I'm just picturing a very fairly big Hulk using Wolverine as a can opener. Or like a hunting knife, just holding him like a hunting knife. Swinging him around like he's a machete.
Nice. Okay. Oh yeah, I heard the Miles Morales game is actually pretty good, even though it's short and sweet.
Yeah.
I have yet to download that.
Like, how short are we talking?
I'm not sure, but it's probably shorter than the last Spider-Man game.
Oh yeah, it's fair.
yeah.
I mean, it's basically just an expansion.
Yeah.
Ah, I see. That level. So
I don't
so would you say it would be like all three of the DLCs from the first Spider-Man game combined, or?
Maybe. I haven't played it.
I mean, if you didn't play the original Spider-Man, it's worth picking up for the $60. But
I wanted to ask, how do you guys feel about the head swap for Peter Parker in those games?
It was weird. It was very
how
obvious.
he looked originally like Andrew Garfield and they changed him to Tom Holland.
I don't think he even looked like Andrew Garfield. He looked like his own Peter Parker for that universe. And then I guess it was from the top down saying, make him look like Tom Holland.
They're obviously trying to do their synergy.
We got to make it tie into the movies. I'm like, no.
Well,
no.
that's something we can go to, because this is something that's been speculated on a lot. What's going to happen after Spider-Man 3?
Ooh.
Like, I'm probably not going to watch it because I didn't really care for either of the first two.
I heard rumors that No Way Home is going to retcon Amazing Spider-Man 2 and Sam Raimi's Spider-Man 3.
All I know is that All I know is that I didn't watch Venom, and I don't plan on watching the next one.
Well, no, I'm talking about, let's face it, we know what Sony's trying to do. They're trying to
cash in on that
Spider-Verse without Spidey.
Yeah, but it's obvious that given what the plot of No Way Home is, it seems very obvious that the whole idea is
just to get Spidey back at Sony.
Put Tom Holland in their new universe. And to be fair, I don't care because I'm not really a big fan. I mean, I like Tom Holland. I think he's a great actor. I'm just not a fan of what they have been doing with this Spider-Man. And, I mean, okay, minor rant incoming. This is something I was calling out from the moment what's the first movie called?
Homecoming.
Homecoming. That's something I was calling out from the moment Homecoming came out. And I got so much shit for it. But lately, I've seen more and more people siding with the idea of, like, he's not, he's a good actor, but it's like he's not Spider-Man. He's Iron Boy.
Yeah.
I was calling that shit out from the moment I finished watching Homecoming. It's just like, yeah, I get why people like it, but this is not Spider-Man. This is not his story. And I got so much shit for that. But now I tend to see a lot more people being like, yeah, this isn't Spider-Man. This is just Spider-Boy.
Yeah. I also watched the Disney Plus shows, like the Marvel ones, and I just watched the first episode of Loki. What else? Stupid phone. Oh, there we go. All right. Oh yeah. With some documentaries that I saw on WWE wrestlers, they were pretty good. Like, there was one that I watched like a few years ago back on Andre the Giant. Oh, that shit would get emotional because with Vince McMahon, as ruthless as he is, he actually cares deep down for his wrestlers because they asked him if Andre's death had a big impact more than any other wrestler. He kind of pauses for a moment. You can almost see a tear come out of his eye, and then he said he was special. I also saw a documentary about The Undertaker, and when he talked about his retirement, you know what? I'm glad for him. I mean, there could have been some more matches where he could have wrestled other people, but oh well. Yeah, I know you guys aren't into wrestling and all that, but whatever.
No. It's nothing. It's nothing.
All right. Let's see. Oh yeah,
So,
I mentioned Star versus the Forces of Evil. The ending sucked.
You don't say.
I wish they made a. You know how like they have a TV movie for Adventure Time or whatever. I wish they would do that for Star versus the Forces of Evil because Darren Nefsey, the creator, said she'd like to do more work on Star, and I wish we got a movie for clarity.
to get a better sense of closure.
Yeah.
Kind of like what they did with Foster's Home for Imaginary Friends.
Yeah. Even though I didn't watch that much.
Oh, that was another show I watched during the pandemic. Foster's Home for Imaginary Friends. Honestly, as much as I like the show, I have to acknowledge there's a lot of mean-spirited stuff in that show.
Blue is an asshole.
Blue
Blue
is
is a giant asshole.
Yes, he is. Yes, he is.
Not as bad as that one imaginary friend. What's his name? The one like who would act like a crybaby and then
Oh,
like
Jokey, I think is his name.
Yeah,
No,
he's like
Bendy.
Yeah, Bendy. Fuck that character.
Yeah, but here's the thing.
Yeah, but
At the
Bendy at
beginning-
least is a once in a while character.
Yeah, people hated that character. Lowen Faust actually apologized for Bendy.
Oh.
Here's the thing, though. At the beginning of Foster's Home for Imaginary Friends, Blue was kind of cool.
Yeah.
He was an okay character. And then everything after that, you're like, oh my God, you are a selfish little prick.
Well, the big problem was Blue became the main source for creating conflict. Most of the episodes, whatever's happening or whatever goes wrong, it's because of Blue.
Exactly.
That's the big problem.
Exactly. That
The conflict
is a very big problem.
That's actually weird because early on they set up the Duchess to obviously be the one who would cause all the
That
conflict and chaos.
That would have been much better.
But it ended up
her
falling
sowing
more
the
and more to
seed-
Blue.
Her sowing the seeds of chaos would have been much better, but I guess she was just too full of herself to do that.
Yeah, it's like they set her up very obviously early on to kind of be like, to use Rugrats as an example, Angelica.
Yeah.
Exactly.
But instead, it almost ended up basically being like, I guess if Tommy was the one causing all the problems.
Yeah.
And then when I finished that series and watched the made-for-TV movie Destination Imagination, I
don't know. I may have seen that, but if I have, it's been a long time.
Speaking of
Destination Imagination was surprisingly dark.
No, wait, I remember. That was the one where Frankie got pulled into some imaginary trunk thing.
Yes.
Yeah.
The imaginary friend was basically the world inside a little toy chest. No, not that word.
Sorry, I had to make that joke.
And I think what made it especially creepy was that that entity, that imaginary friend in particular, was voiced by a kid and was basically a kid.
Yeah.
And it really, and I was actually like on the edge of my seat, like this was shown to kids. Yeah. Holy crap.
Oh, so Brian, you never talked about your little story or whatever.
Which story?
The harem one.
Is it the one with the vampires or the one with the magical girls?
No. Your hero.
Oh, you mean the story that I'm working on?
Yeah.
I don't know if the podcast is a good place to discuss that.
Yeah. But let's just say that his character has a lot of harems.
I mean, it's more just when you're doing a story, you kind of have an idea. Okay, there's probably going to be a lot of fan art of this, and it's more just.
And the fact how you made his mom look freaking hot as hell.
No, I haven't finished her design yet.
I saw bits and pieces of the design in your room. I'm like, milf, 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 milf.
Yeah, but I mean, okay, here's a good example. God, I can't remember what show it was. It might have been Kim Possible or some other show. I remember a story where it's like, I think it was a Disney show, so it might have been Kim Possible.
Okay, I'll tell you if it is.
Basically, when they were conceptualizing it, they sat down with the creator, and I think they like showed him stuff on the internet. They said, "Okay, this is kind of probably what's going to happen to your character." Like they flat out showed him like this character is going to get a lot of fan art drawn of it. Just so you know. I remember hearing that story. I don't remember what show it was.
Are you sure it was a show or a video game? Because
It might have-
BioShock comes to mind.
Did they do that with BioShock with the creator?
I remember the creator came out and basically said, "Stop making porn of Elizabeth."
No, because that's happened with a bunch of creators. That's happened with the Bayonetta creator. He actually, well, what's funny is he actually said, "Look, I can't stop you from making hentai, but at least have it be that Bayonetta is
the one in charge.
Yeah.
Oh, you mean like her as a femdom or a fuda or?
Well, no, just basically,
God.
in your art, please.
Please don't mention those terms.
I'm
No,
not.
it's basically in your art. Please
You just
make sure
did.
that the character is true to how she would act.
Yeah,
You know, like don't make her a subservient wimp.
yeah. Oh yeah, we were talking about Rugrats earlier. How do you feel about the new show? Even though I haven't seen it.
Not watching it.
I mean, they got the original voice actor back.
Not
and
for the adults, because
actor-
most of them are retired or dead.
Yeah, and I mean the trailers do look good.
Yeah, plus Grandpa, he doesn't sleep when the kids are out having their adventures. He's actually an active elderly person doing yoga, but he's still kind of irresponsible.
Yeah.
Also, how do you feel about the whole Betty thing?
Do you want the truth or a comforting lie?
I mean, well, most fans kind of thought that she was gay to begin with.
Yeah,
But-
but not every.
but that-
not every. Well,
but you-
to be fair, here's one thing I will say that people have pointed out. It's like, let's face it, Howard was the weakest character
Yeah.
in that series. He
I know,
really
but-
did nothing.
I know, but he was still. I know, but he was still a dedicated father to Phil
True,
and Lil.
but
and
you know
they
that-
had, Betty and Howard had this certain dynamic that you didn't see with any of the other characters
Yeah.
on the show.
He was a wimp though.
Yeah, yeah, yes, he was. Yes, he was a bit of. Yes, he was a bit of a wimp, but Chaz was a bit more of a wimp. So
well,
Not
but
really.
I mean,
Chaz
well,
actually had his moments.
well, the point is, everything that Howard did was done better by other characters. Being kind of the stay-at-home parent compared to the other parent that went out to work. You know, that was Drew. You know,
Yeah.
he stayed at home with Angelica most of the time, while Charlotte was the active working parent.
I
The
think
kind of
Drew worked from home.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah, Drew
I know
Drew as
Stu
well.
did. He was the inventor.
Yeah.
Dee Dee was the
Well,
stay-at-home
no,
mom.
that's what I'm saying.
Dee Dee was a teacher, I think.
Oh yeah, she was.
She was.
right.
The male parent who's kind of more wimpy and in clothes. You know, Charles handled that character trait much better. Howard really didn't bring anything unique. So it's like I kind of understand cutting him, but you know, it's like he really didn't need. So I kind of understand, but at the same time, we kind of also know why they actually cut him. It wasn't because he was a useless character. It was just.
Well, speaking of Nickelodeon, who's ready for the Patrick Star spinoff? I thought so. So, okay.
Not even the crickets.
Okay. So, what do we plan to do when the pandemic is over? Well, anyways, what I have is that I want to go to theme parks, the gym, arcades, as well as buffets, sushi places that are all you can eat.
The same thing we do every night, Pinky. Try to take over the world.
I'd like to one day travel to Japan, but not anytime soon because they have like a Godzilla-themed hotel as well as a ride. And
Don't forget the zip line.
Oh yeah, that looks cool. Go on dates, cons, expos, Frankensons. Get WrestleMania tickets because that's on my bucket list.
Brian, have you ever been to Frankensons?
Yeah,
course he has.
I've been there tons of times.
Okay.
Yeah. What else? Possibly make more episodes. Find an apartment on my own. Possibly a roommate since my sister's family is likely going to move out of state. I mean, they've been saying that, but they don't really have enough money for it. And
Yeah, that's a big thing. Moving out of state right now is incredibly expensive.
yeah, especially how like they said something like they want to do it now because like my sister decided, okay, fuck it, we're gonna move because they said that with schools when everything opens up the kids still have to wear masks.
You're kind of better off just moving out to an area that's kind of in the middle of nowhere.
Oh fuck.
No, 'cause, like,
Not that kind of middle of nowhere.
No, because like you go out to like Palm Desert, you can find affordable places. It's just you're out in the middle of the desert.
Yeah,
Probably gonna be hot as hell.
Make sure
Yeah.
you have good Wi-Fi and a good air conditioning unit.
Yeah, it's like as long as you're okay with the fact that it's hot out there and you're not exactly near a metropolitan area, you can find pretty good priced housing out there.
Also, I don't know if this is true or not, but they said something for like essential workers. Like there's going to be something called
Wait, did we talk about what we were watching? Or
Oh yeah, what you guys did to pass the time.
oh yeah,
I mean, I mainly just got myself a job and started working,
Well,
and I've been working on my story.
It was an internship actually.
Yeah.
Yeah.
oh yeah.
Well, anyways, there's something called the Heroes Act bill. I don't know if this is going to get passed or not, but it's like a big chunk of money that you get from the government for being an essential worker during the pandemic. I mean, I know we're already getting the stimulus checks and all.
Two questions. One, do healthcare workers count? Two, does it have a limit on how much you made? Like, is it that you don't get money if you made more than a certain amount?
I'm not sure because like when I first heard about it, they said it might give you like 8 to 10,000. I don't know.
Yeah, you discussed that one. After a certain point, you don't get anything.
Yeah.
And that thing, I told you about that story. Like, that story's over a year old.
Yeah. Also, I mean, not to get too personal, but I also want to like pay off debts that I owe. I'm not gonna say what I owe, but I want to get that shit paid off as well. So, what are you guys
Hookers and blow. Hookers and blow.
Anyways, what are you guys gonna do when the pandemic's over?
I mean, I'm just going to do what I've been doing and try to find...
A derb.
A job.
Same, pretty much.
I mean,
pretty much.
I've got the experience. I mean, that's really the biggest problem I
Yeah.
run into is that I now have more of the skills. I just don't have enough experience. Like,
Yeah.
the positions are usually like they want like 2, 3, 5
Yeah.
years of experience.
And experience related to what you are looking for.
Well, no, I have
just need-
that.
Oh.
I just don't have it for long enough.
Yeah, I mean, like, I've only had, like, 3 jobs so far, and, like, I've been transferred 2 times because of personal issues, but...
What is your profession? I am a mere gigolo.
Anyways, I don't know how long I'm going to keep up with the whole Stater Brothers shtick, but, I mean, they give me good benefits, though, and, I'm glad I got that, credit union card, because if I were to find another job, I can still stick to the credit union, but I have a loan that needs to be paid off.
No, I'm out of money. Hey, do you take cards? Sure. Can I get stamps with that?
It's a Family Guy reference.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. What else is going on? Funny story. When I went to Vegas on my birthday, I didn't really. I told Nate on the way home, but I didn't really tell you, Brian. So I went to Vegas to just go to this place called the Heart Attack Grill. I told you about it.
Yeah.
But we went there for like 2-3 nights, me and my mom, and unfortunately her car broke down right when we pulled up to the hotel for our last night, and she thought it was the battery, they thought it was the alternator, it was the starter. So I had to use my tax money that I got, my tax return, to help pay for that. It was kind of an emergency though, otherwise we'd be stuck.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know, sucks.
Have you put like money into a retirement account?
No.
We got our retirement in commemorative plates. That's the Legend of NASCAR series right there.
Well, anyways, like I said, I do have that credit union account, but like I said, I still have a loan that needs to get paid off, but I'm kind of using that as like a savings account, even though it's not really a savings account, so I hardly spend money on that. Let's see. What else is going on?
I'm probably also gonna be keeping an eye on what kind of movies are coming up through Fathom Events, because honestly, there aren't many movies out there that are grabbing me right now. So
True.
I'd rather go back and watch old movies.
Well, that's the thing. We kind of touched on this earlier. I think the tent poles are going to come back, but the smaller movies are just going to be straight to streaming. Anything
Like,
where they know it's gonna make bank, I think they will put it in the theaters.
Like
but a lot of those smaller movies, I think a lot of the companies are just gonna be like, we're gonna make more, or it's just financially better to put on streaming.
Like I know for sure that there's going to be re-releasing the Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory in theaters.
The original?
Yeah,
good.
2 days only.
Because
I mean,
let's face it, that's what's
50th anniversary.
That's what's currently going on with Pixar. Both of the new Pixar movies, Soul and Luca, they both got put straight to Disney Plus for.
Luca is not a Pixar movie. I am sorry.
I think you're talking
look at
about
that, and
Onward.
That is not.
I thought that was
is
a
not-
Pixar movie, or is that just a regular Disney movie?
It's Pixar in name only.
Yeah, he was telling me about that on the way.
Well, I mean, like a good example is
You look at no. You look at the trailer to Luca. The
I'm not-
animation is beautiful,
but I'm not
doesn't
dis-
look like Pixar. It doesn't feel like Pixar.
I'm not discussing
it's just-
quality of the movie. I'm just saying, I think animated movies are not going to get theatrical releases anymore. I think 90% of them are just going to put on whatever streaming service.
Tell
of
that
the-
to Demon Slayer.
Well, that's different. That's from Japan. That's a different thing.
I kind of want to see Demon Slayer, but I feel like I got too many obsessions already.
But I mean, like Onward was in theater for like a week, and then they pulled it on and put on Disney Plus.
Yeah, 'cause of COVID.
They put Soul on Disney Plus. They put Luca on Disney Plus. I think Raya was in theaters for a little bit, and then they
Yeah.
put it on Disney Plus. I think animated movies, their future is on streaming.
Yeah, speaking of Disney, the Little Mermaid reboot is actually going to take place in modern time.
Deal breaker.
Yeah.
Nope. Nope.
That sounds really
Especially
bad.
with their casting choice, you know exactly what kind of story elements they're probably going to tell.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's going to be a bad movie. That's gonna be
Worse than Mulan?
Mulan is a special kind of bad.
Worse than live action Lion King?
Yeah, probably worse than that.
Probably
Because at
worse
least
than
that's
that.
just bad because it's boring.
Yeah, because with Little Mermaid, that started the Disney
Lion
Renaissance.
Lion King was bad because it was boring. Mulan was bad because reasons.
China! Well, I mean, not only that, it's like, I know we didn't want to go into that, but it's like, it's clear that the people who are making these movies...
are not making them for
No, what I
not
was going to say was it's clear they're not doing their actual homework. Because that was one of the things that popped up before the movie even launched, was it's just like, people in China were saying the architecture is all wrong. This is the equivalent of having a movie set in the 1600s, and you've got the...
Wild West Cowboys.
No, and you've got like the New York skyscraper in the background.
Ah,
Oh, jeez. Oh, man. Oh, yeah. You know when I said that I wanted to go back to doing buffets? I don't know if buffets are going to be open here or like if they just stopped. However, when I went to Vegas, they were open because Vegas is open completely. And I think it's because some of them like went out of business, but there are some places that are still temporarily closed, but they might open back up. Who knows?
You know, this shrimp is very good, but I think I might be allergic to it. I better eat some more in order to check.
That's Jersey.
It's something that he actually did.
Yeah. When we went to a sushi place where he told us that he's allergic, and I said, well, they got other stuff besides fish. He's like, okay. But then later on, he got like sushi rolls. I'm like, Jersey, aren't you allergic? He's like, one won't
Well,
kill
I'm
me.
not entirely certain. I better eat some to check.
Yeah. And that's when he had his magical hobo adventure.
oh no.
Yeah, we told you about that, but
No,
we're
come
going
on,
to save
come
him
on.
the embarrassment.
No. Never bring this up. Not on a podcast.
Yeah,
Come on.
we're going to save him the embarrassment.
Yeah, let's just stop it at he decided I need to check if I'm actually allergic to fish.
Yeah. And his stomach didn't agree with him.
Fish specifically or shellfish?
I'm not sure.
Yeah. I think all seafood.
Oh my God, that's a terrible way
Yeah,
to
that
live.
sucks. Especially how like Jersey's
I mean, it's
religious and he's got to do the whole Lent thing and can't eat meat. So
I mean, that's a personal choice, you know?
yeah, I know. Let's see. So let's talk about, I guess, Future Fight.
I mean,
This podcast is sponsored by Future Fight.
I mean, it's a good game. I get a lot of hours out of it.
I don't play mobile.
I mean, like any mobile game, it's kind of very
Addicting.
Well, no, I was gonna say it's a very it eventually gets into a gameplay repetitive loop.
Yeah.
But I enjoy it for what it is.
Let's see.
The main two mobile games I play is that and Duel Links.
Future Fight's the only mobile game I play because I still miss Heroes Omega. Oh God.
Okay, would you just go and marry it? All right, we know you want to.
Go to him.
Hey, to be fair, it's not like it's impossible to marry games at this point.
Yeah.
You're not wrong.
Because I remember there was this girl that got married to Sonic. Sorry, Brian.
Aww.
That is so wrong.
Hey, at least when your digital waifu gets upset, she's not going to take half your stuff.
At
Yeah.
least you could factory reset.
Oh.
Yeah. Ooh.
Oh man. Let's see. What else should we talk about?
She takes the cyborg kids with her.
Takes the cyborg kids. Oh man. I mean, I think we still got time to kill. What else should we talk about?
Well, one thing that this could kind of be a podcast in and of itself, but that we could touch on is, you were talking about that list. How far do you think things are gonna go in terms of anime and manga just like dominating everything? Are we going to see the rise of anime movies? Because so far they haven't gotten those right.
Yeah,
What we are
Rise of
going
the
to-
Weeds.
Hollywood will try, and when they fail, they will try to convince Japanese markets to cater to a global audience. And that will be the downfall of anime and manga.
Well, one thing that's kind of happening is I think Japan is kind of starting to do a run around the distributors where they're just releasing their stuff directly without the services of like Crunchyroll and Funimation and
You mean like what
and
Toei
streaming
is doing?
service. Yeah. Or like Tubi is a good example. Tubi has a bunch of anime and they just put it directly on there and kind of do a run around the normal distributors. Which I think that's something that they could do. They could just say, we're not going to partner with American distributors. We're just going to release it directly and let people come to us, basically. I mean, that's kind of what they do with manga.
I just hope that they stay clear of that small but loud minority.
Yep.
I mean, they're gonna try, and they've been trying, but so far they haven't penetrated. And a lot of artists have been like, a lot of artists on Twitter have gone like, "Don't listen to these people. Just keep doing what you're doing."
Hopefully, it's artists that companies in Japan have worked with before and actually like listen to their feedback. Like, yeah, no, don't listen to these guys. No. Because there are people, whether it's artists or cosplayers or whatever, who have worked with Japanese companies for stuff that are well connected with them, and they actually listen to their feedback on certain issues. So as long as we have people like that, then
Yeah, but I mean, it's like the big problem is it's like, well, we saw, Demon Slayer did really well. That movie did really well. So it's like, I can easily see Japanese movies that are just brought straight over doing well. But do you think Hollywood could ever actually crack that nut of doing decent versions themselves?
They're trying with Cowboy Bebop, and it is going to suck.
But they've been trying to do that for years. That's the thing. It's
You don't change phase design. You don't change Ein from a Welsh Corgi to a German Shepherd.
Well, it's like they literally, there's the meme now of the manga, the anime, the Netflix version. Yeah. I mean, Hollywood's going to try, but do you think any of them are going to actually be able to succeed and adapt those things as well as, for let's face it, for as well as Marvel managed to do with the comics for 10 years?
I don't know. I think Marvel is.
Are there enough creators in Hollywood that they can actually start churning out anime movies that actually do well and don't just bomb right out of the gate?
No.
Speaking of movies,
Because we did get Alita. To be fair, we got Alita.
Okay, to be fair, Alita was good, but it was being helmed by a passionate fan.
Yeah.
yeah,
And it's the difference between Alita, Ghost in the Shell. Alita, Dragon Ball Evolution.
Yep.
Well, to be fair, the writer literally said that he did not care when he made that script
Oh, for Dragon Ball?
for Evolution. Yeah,
Oh.
he said for him it was a paycheck. He had no clue what Dragon Ball was, and it
Yeah.
was just a
I
gig.
think he actually apologized
yeah, well,
later.
he said that when he apologized. He said, "Look, I'm sorry about this. I was kind of a young writer. This was just a gig. I didn't know anything about Dragon Ball. I didn't know it had a passionate fan base, and I just kind of did what I was told to do."
Well, speaking of movies, I'm thinking that I know that there's not a lot of movies coming out that look interesting. I mean, I'm interested in some of the Marvel movies. I mean, I might see Black Widow. I want to see Shang-Chi because I felt cheated with Iron Man 3 with the Mandarin. And I don't know about Eternals.
I think Eternals is going to bomb.
Yeah.
It might be Marvel's first bomb. And I'm just looking at it from where is the hype? There's just no hype.
There is no hype.
I really haven't heard very many people really talk about it.
When the first Guardians of the Galaxy movie came out, there was not hype, but there was morbid curiosity.
Yeah, there was curiosity.
There was
I haven't
curiosity,
seen people really display that level of curiosity of I'm interested in what this is about.
Like with Guardians of the Galaxy, we have this human, this green chick, this big buff gray looking guy, a tree, and a raccoon. What is this movie?
And Guardians, to be fair, it was a more well-known property than Eternals.
True enough. It not as well known as it is right now.
No,
but
yeah, it was at the time. It was very much a C-list property.
Congratulations, Guardians! You have been promoted from C to B.
I'd say they're
A.
borderline. No, I don't think they're quite A rank.
Like 89.
Yeah, they're almost A. And to be fair, I mean that happened with all of the Marvel characters. Most of the main Marvel
Except
Avengers.
Captain Marvel. Except Captain Marvel.
Yeah, it depends on who you ask.
Yeah.
But I mean, like most of the main Avengers.
Note to self: never ask Kelly Sue DeConnick.
Most of the main Avengers were B-list characters
Iron
before
Man,
their
Thor,
movies.
Cap.
Even Hulk.
Yeah.
Well, I'd say Hulk was probably the most popular out of all of them.
Because he
Before
had a
then.
TV show back then with Lou Ferrigno.
Well, not only that, he also had the 90s cartoon.
Yeah. He had a handful of shows.
He had the 90s cartoon. He had a couple of video games.
Yeah. What else? Black Panther, he was kind of like a B
And
or
I think he was
C-lister.
actually one of the top characters in the comics at the time.
Yeah. You were talking about like how characters went from like C to like B or A. Black Panther was a good example.
What they did with him to build him up was good. Introducing him in like Civil War was a very, very smart move.
Yeah. What else? Oh yeah, speaking of Hulk, I hope this rumor is true, but they said that after She-Hulk, he's going back to his old savage roots.
I mean, we'll see. I mean, is the actor even gonna want to keep doing it? He's been doing
Ruffalo?
it. Yeah.
Probably because MCU keeps saying, "Oh, we want to do Hulk versus Wolverine."
I'm not sure I want to see the X-Men helmed by Disney.
That's gonna be interesting.
Yeah. What about Fantastic Four? I mean, we already heard that with the Black Panther sequel.
It's a sad day when the old Hammer film from 1990 was more faithful to the Fantastic Four than any modern interpretation to date.
Well, I know that with Black Panther 2, Namor's going to be in it, but he's actually going to be played by a Hispanic guy.
Gotta get those diversity points.
So that's been confirmed?
I think so.
Oh, well, then I guess that rumor from a while ago is debunked.
Oh yeah, where they wanted him to be black and whatnot.
And that Sue was going to have a out-of-wedlock child with him.
Yeah. And was that going to be Franklin?
Yeah.
Oh wow.
Oh God, no.
Well, to be fair, it was a rumor at the time, and if, this casting is true, then okay, that rumor was false.
Yeah. Let's see. Isn't it true that the Batman with Robert Pattinson is getting delayed?
Yes.
Like by 2 years?
Yes.
Those
are the Those are the
Those
rumors.
are the rumors. I haven't heard confirmation on that.
Yeah.
All I know is that from what I hear, Pattinson is a complete and utter diva to work with.
Yep. He didn't want to train.
He didn't want to bulk up for the role because his argument was like, well, Marlon Brando never had to work out for his roles, and everyone and their mother was like, yeah, but Marlon Brando was not auditioning for a superhero.
Yeah.
I mean, there's so many rumors swirling around that movie. It's hard to tell if any of them are true. That's the thing.
Speaking of Pattinson.
Plus, literally, didn't he just sign a deal to do a spin-off TV show for that?
Oh God.
I thought it was Affleck.
What? No, I could have sworn there was something about Robert Pattinson TV deal for a show.
I know
rumors,
that
the costume design, the design of the Batmobile.
Yeah, I know that John Cena.
You should always take rumors
off.
with a grain of salt.
I
I know, but but when I look at Pattinson's Batman, it doesn't look like that suit was built by a billionaire. It looked like it was taken from the sporting goods store.
Yeah.
And then there's the Craigslist Batmobile.
Speaking of TV deals, I heard that John Cena is gonna be in a Suicide Squad spinoff for HBO Max. So I mean, I've heard of that. I don't know about Pattinson. And speaking of Pattinson, I heard that he's gonna be in a Nosferatu remake.
Does it bother anybody that when it comes to making these Suicide Squad movies, they are putting these rogues galleries of villains from all these different heroes and putting them up against Justice League level threats?
Yeah, that's weird.
Does anybody have? Am I the only one who feels that there's something wrong?
Yeah.
Something innately wrong about this?
I mean, it does kind of break, like, how are these characters supposed to accomplish that?
I mean, the first time it was Enchantress.
Now it's Starro.
And now it's freaking Starro. One of the most ridiculous yet overpowered villains in the DC universe.
Not to mention the first threat the Justice League ever faced.
Yep.
Exactly. One of the first threats the Justice League ever faced, and they give it to the Suicide Squad.
Yeah.
God.
That's like, let's see, what's a good example? I don't know, Punisher going up against Galactus?
No, I don't know if it's quite that level.
No, it's like Power Paul going up against Galactus.
Power Paul?
Who?
Let me see something.
I never heard of Power Paul.
No, it's Mothman going up against Galactus.
Mothman.
Nah, come on, man.
You mean, oh no, I was thinking of Killer Moth.
Oh, Killer Moth. That's what I meant.
Honestly, what they should be doing is they should be putting them up against anti-heroes.
Yeah.
Like, anti-heroes that lean more on the hero's side.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, maybe not Power Paul. I can't find him anywhere.
Like, the heroes that you could actually kind of say are rogue.
Yeah. Or like maybe other villains like who are like have their own goals, and these guys are trying to redeem themselves.
Like maybe
Well,
maybe put them up against having to hunt down Red Hood and the Outlaws.
Yeah.
Or better yet, what is a DC villain that is a straight up dictator?
Black Adam. Yeah,
but Black Adam is also insanely powerful.
True, yeah.
No. Like
Grodd.
I think
honestly,
you
a
are.
Suicide Squad, maybe a Suicide Squad with them fighting Grodd might work.
I think you are kind of onto something with the idea of use them to go after superheroes or supervillains that are operating outside the law in other countries
Yes. Maybe
where the U.S. can't intervene.
Or maybe like Superman's off world. We need somebody to wrangle in Bizarro. Problem is, Bizarro will probably think they are bad guys and try to stop them.
Yeah.
himself.
No, I mean here's a good one. Here's a perfect one. You put them up against the League of Assassins.
Ooh.
Against Ra's al Ghul.
Yeah,
Oh yes. Yes.
because that's a giant criminal organization of characters that they can, plow through technically, and it's also an organization that operates well outside the U.S. jurisdiction that the U.S. can't touch, but they know exists. Like you put them up against stuff like that,
Or any country can't touch.
yeah, you put them up
Basically.
against stuff like that, where it's these shadow caps that operate.
That would actually make a good Batman movie. Batman and the Suicide Squad.
Yeah.
Like Batman has to try. Like Batman is hunting down the League of Assassins or Society of Shadows or whatever they want to call them, and Amanda Waller offers her assistance with this program she's working on, and Batman is like adamantly refuses, but Waller's like, I've already got approval from the president or yada yada yada, and Batman just is there to make sure that those guys do their job.
Yeah, and I think that's probably the best
and
way
to make sure that they don't die.
Or if we're going with the idea of criminals that are working in a jurisdiction that's completely outside the law, Suicide Squad down in Mexico versus Bane.
Ooh.
Okay,
You mean
yes,
Santa
yes.
Prisca?
Yeah,
Or whatever it's called?
Yeah, me. Yeah,
and Bane's running, a Venom operation.
that would be good. That would be good. We're basically writing money right now.
Yep. Sign us up, Hollywood.
Yeah, that's how you take this idea. It's like they're technically low level, so you have them taking on stuff that's not world ending, but it's stuff that the US government can't technically do anything about. Or hell, if you want to have it a little bit high level, send them after Luthor.
Intergang.
No, I was going to say Luthor.
Yeah.
You send him after Luthor and a cloning facility that he's running.
Ooh.
You have him face a bunch of...
The Suicide Squad and Superman working together. That would be an interesting dynamic.
You have them face down a bunch of incomplete Superboys.
Ooh.
Incomplete Superboys or...
Bizarros?
Yeah, or Bizarros.
Incomplete
Well,
Superboys?
I was kind of
or-
going with Superboys because then you can kind of lower the power level a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. What about Amazo?
Ooh.
Yeah.
No, Amazo feels like a Justice League.
Yeah, he's too OP.
Justice League level villain.
He is, but I do think there are lower level Android stuff like that you could use. I think that the basics idea of that
save
is...
Amazo for something else. Maybe have them trying to track down. Toyman is. I was gonna say have them track down Toyman, but no, I don't think he's outside U.S. jurisdiction.
No, but you can have them go after more chaotic villains like that who don't operate with anybody. Like, I mean, I know he's way overused, but you could have them go against Joker.
Yeah.
Because Joker doesn't work for anybody.
Yep.
True enough. I just feel Joker's overused.
Yeah, that's why I said as much as I know he's overused. At the very least, that would be an interesting conflict for Harley.
Yeah. You know what else I'm looking forward to is the new TMNT game.
Oh, yeah, that's going to be fun.
Yeah. Shredder's Revenge. They need more games like that.
They need more beat 'em ups.
Yeah.
Yeah, because beat 'em ups is kind of a dead genre, but it's a very fun one, and it's even better now that online co-op works better.
The last beat 'em up I remember seeing that I was interested in playing was Double Dragon Neon.
Ooh.
You remember that one?
I think so.
It was by Way Forward.
Cool.
Well, it kind of sucks that the The RWBY one was not all that good. The Ruby one, because it was a 3D brawler, but it was very bare bones, and I've heard it's gotten better, but I don't know if it's really worth it.
All I know is that for Double Dragon Neon, the main bad guy, Skullmageddon, and he sounds like Skeletor.
Nice.
And he looks like he belongs on a metal cover, so that it was just so good. All I wanted was a date.
Well, with some of the Marvel Disney Plus shows, I know Moon Knight's going to be on there. I just hope they get his costume right, because I don't want to see the Mr. Knight costume, the white one where it's like a suit.
Well, here's
and like
the
a
thing.
mask. I want it more vigilante style.
Here's the thing about superhero movies and shows in general. Actors do not like to wear masks now.
Yeah.
I hate that.
To be fair, a lot of that is... It used to be you went to a movie for the actor, but it's kind of turned around where it's you go to the movie for the character, but the actors, they still want their face exposed because they want additional roles later. They want to be known as the face of that character so that they can get big roles outside of that.
Whoever that guy is not the face of Snake Eyes. I'm sorry. No.
That's a whole nother can of worms.
Yeah.
Yep.
Let's see. What else is going on? Oh yeah, with although I haven't watched Nostalgia Critic religiously, I want to see his Mulan review. I know he's going to tear that a new one.
It takes
the live action Mulan.
It takes a lot for me to be somewhat interested in whatever it is the Nostalgia Critic has been doing these days.
Yeah, because I used to watch him religiously, but now I just watch whatever I might find interesting.
Same.
I sometimes watch some of his old stuff, but I haven't really watched any of his new stuff in a while.
His old stuff still surprisingly holds up.
Yeah. Brian, you should check out Matt McMuscles.
Who's that?
He's a guy that plays games. He does reviews of like certain stuff. Like he has a show called What Happened, where he talks about like how certain games and movies kind of like went down the toilet.
All right.
Or how some movies or games ended up having very troubled production and yet ended up doing good. But those ones are rare.
Oh, you mean like the Final Fantasy remake?
The Final Fantasy VII remake, the L.A. Noire. But yeah, most of it is like games that had just sunk to rock bottom or just flat out failed.
Well, I mean, that's something that unfortunately, was it BioWare kind of got hyped up on their own? Well, it'll just come together. Was it, who made Anthem? Was it Bio? No, is that Bio?
I don't know who made Anthem.
I don't.
Can you check who made Anthem?
All right. Let's see. Who made Anthem, the game? Yep, BioWare.
Yeah, BioWare, that was the big part of their development, and why that game ended up being as horrible as it was they kept having the mentality all the way up to the deadline of it'll just come together, because they've had games that have done that, where the development is a nightmare, and then somehow at the end it kind of just all comes together. Some of their biggest games have done that, and unfortunately they got trapped in the mentality of, well, that's just how we do it. It'll come together at the end, and it didn't.
Well, I know that I don't know who the developers are, but I don't know if you guys ever heard of XCOM, but they're trying to do like a Marvel game similar to that.
I've heard something about that game. I mean, that's something we could explore right now. It's like, E3 is going on right now.
Yeah.
And I only have two they've only shown two games that I'm remotely interested in.
Well,
I'm actually excited for.
We're not into the big press conferences before. I think today the one that happened was Ubisoft. And it's like, you kind of know what you're going to get from an Ubisoft press conference.
I am so
Well,
I did not like Rabbids before, and I do not like Rabbids now.
Yeah, but I mean, my point is we haven't hit Microsoft's press conference. We haven't hit Sony's. We haven't hit Nintendo's.
well, speaking of Nintendo, who do you think the 2 final Smash characters are going to be?
I am still holding out hope and praying for Master Chief, but
I think it's going to be Goku. It's going to be Goku, and it's going to be Super Saiyan Goku.
Some people say Doom Guy. It'd be cool if Scorpion from Mortal Kombat was in it. I even told Brian like what his specials could be, like teleport, ninja slide, spear, and toasty.
I feel like he's kind of been in a lot of stuff recently, though. Hasn't he kind of been doing a lot of crossover games?
Yeah.
yeah, nah. What about you?
I don't know. I mean, because these are supposed to be third-party characters for the most part, right?
Well, let's look at the lineup so far. We have Mean, which is a Nintendo property.
That's a Nintendo one.
Steve from Minecraft, Sephiroth, that was mind-blowing. And then Pyra and Mithra, also somewhat Nintendo property.
Yeah, kind of third-party Nintendo. Banjo.
So there's a possibility that it's either going to be another Nintendo character or third party.
I mean, the character that I would really want probably isn't going to be it because he's already a trophy.
Yeah.
Which is, I would like to see Bomberman.
Oh, I thought you were going to say Waluigi.
No, I would like to see Bomberman because, one, Bomberman fits the style very well.
Yes.
And number two, Bomberman is like literally one of the oldest video game characters. Like, I think he might be older than Mario.
Ooh.
Older than Mr. Game & Watch?
Not that old.
Yeah.
Okay. Not quite that old. Yeah. But Bomberman, he is at the very least came out in the 80s.
Bomberman was around the time with Pac-Man.
Yeah.
Yeah. Who else? It'll be cool if like Ditsy Khan was in it.
I would like to see Dixie Kong again for that same reason because I think her move style could be very fun.
Yeah. Be funny if Cranky Khan was in it. Or Lanky Khan, because he has no style. He has no grace.
Not many people know who Lanky Kong is.
Yeah, I don't think they would put in Lanky or even Cranky. I could see maybe Dixie. The character that I know...
Candy has a better chance of getting it.
My waifu?
The character that I know a lot of people want that hits high on those polls is Sora.
Yeah.
Sora will not get in Smash because Disney will not allow it.
Yeah.
But I don't think Sora is technically owned by Disney. I think Square Enix owns Sora.
They've tried. They've tried to get Sora, and Disney says no.
Okay.
Square was down for it. Disney said no.
Okay. Well, I know another character that a lot of people want that tends to place high in those polls is Crash Bandicoot.
Yeah, he's probably going to be in it.
Crash Bandicoot, Spyro.
I think Spyro would be
cool.
Cool.
Kratos was in it.
Mark, you're gonna hate me, but let's get a plant Pokemon for the. We gotta get grass Pokemon representation.
Oh,
I nominate Sceptile.
I think a better choice would be Decidueye.
Oh man,
which one was Decidueye?
Decidueye is one of the more recent one. He's the archer bird from Sun and Moon. Rowlet's evolved form.
Okay.
He's the one that kind of looks like.
Oh,
he's an
you mean
archer.
Dun and Poop?
He's the one that looks like an archer, basically. So it's like you would have kind of a flying arrow moveset to work with.
But don't we already have that covered with like Pit and Dark Pit?
To a degree.
Oh yeah. I know that WB or NetherRealm Studios is planning something.
But I mean, you can say that with a lot of the sword characters as well.
Some people think it's going to be MK11 DLC, which I doubt. Maybe it's another Injustice game. Some people are saying, oh, it's going to be Marvel versus DC Injustice style. Well, I mean, I hope so.
If that's the case, they better not use evil Superman.
Yeah. Well, also...
Evil!
Also...
Evil!
It's because I want a proper Marvel fighting game because MVC Infinite left a bad taste in my mouth. Or at least get Marvel vs. Capcom 4, a proper one.
Well, here's a question: what big franchises do you think are going to get a mainline game, at least from some of the like, let's say, probably because Microsoft doesn't really have any.
Call of Duty, 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 Call of Duty.
That's not even a main.
Yeah, I know. I'm just joking.
Yeah, that's not even a first party, but like maybe for Sony and Nintendo.
Ooh, they could put in a Monster Hunter for Smash.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's what some people were saying.
Yeah, I could see that because I already put in.
Oh,
the
you guys were
Hero
talking about
first.
Smash.
They've already have Monster Hunter World exclusively for the Switch. No, not World, Rise.
Yeah, I
They
could
already
see
have
them
that.
putting in a Monster Hunter character.
But the thing is, they already have like Mii outfits for a Monster Hunter and the Palicos, and to me, that's like a death flag. When a
Is
character,
it Gino? It's gonna be Gino. Is it Gino? It's Gino, isn't it?
I like Gino, but even I know it is
I don't
impossible.
understand. I don't understand the obsession with Gino.
I know.
He is a
right?
cool puppet man.
I mean, he is cool, but it's like he was in one game 30 years ago.
Yeah.
You know what, Square, get in touch with Nintendo and see if you can do a remake of Super Mario RPG. Make it happen.
That would be cool.
And include that secret boss from Final Fantasy.
Well, I know that.
Just don't have him be Sephiroth. Have him be the one that you had in the original.
I know that Nintendo was thinking about another DK game, but making it like Odyssey.
Oh yeah, there's that rumor. Well, no, the rumor was that there's.
Will the Kremlings be there?
Hopefully.
Well, the rumor was there's a new big DK game being developed, and but the thing is, it's not that it's going to be like Odyssey. It's that it's being developed by the team that made Odyssey.
It's not going to have pointless collectibles like DK64, is it?
I don't
well,
know.
No,
We
that's
know
more
very
of a
little.
rare thing.
I don't know. We know very little about it. It's literally just a rumor, and all the rumor really states is that it's being made by the Odyssey team, and that it is going to have the Kremlings back. But that's
Yes!
Oh, sweet.
that's it. That's all the rumor says. For all we know, it could be a 2D platformer.
Okay, I know that these are supposed to be common enemies, but Crusher and Clump need to be boss battles.
Yeah.
Maybe it's because of the nostalgia from
the DK show, yeah.
From the Donkey Kong Country cartoon, but I feel that those two need to be like a legitimate threat.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, it's like what
They're
franchises?
kind of like Bebop and Rocksteady, basically.
What franchises haven't gotten a big Switch game yet for Nintendo? The only one I can
Metroid?
think of. Yeah, that's the only one, and we know that there's a game in development.
I just want them to release the Metroid Prime trilogy on the Switch. Give us something. You give something for Zelda every milestone anniversary, but never for Metroid.
Yep.
Never for Metroid.
Well, I think
Metroid is the property that Nintendo wishes would die off, but it is too stubborn to kill.
No, that's F-Zero. Although that series it pretty much is dead.
What about Star Fox?
No,
is that pretty much
that'd
dead?
be Star. Yeah, that'd be Star Fox.
No, F-Zero is dead.
Yeah.
F-Zero is dead. I'm saying Metroid is the property that Nintendo wants to die so much, but fans love it too much that it still
Well, to
makes
be
enough
fair,
money to
I
stay
think,
relevant.
I think a lot of that is due to the fact that Metroid never took off in Japan. It's always been a series that has appealed almost exclusively to the Western market. And to be fair, that's kind of true of Zelda, where I think Zelda is bigger in the West than it is in Japan. Yeah. But I think it is fairly big in Japan as well. Big enough.
Yeah.
I would kill for a Metroid concert. Then again, who wouldn't want to hear an orchestrated version of some of those tracks? Yeah. Phendrana Drifts, Ridley's theme, Kraid's theme, Chozo Temples.
What else? Oh, yeah. I found out on Wikipedia that the highest rated billion-dollar franchise, that's number one, happens to be Pokemon. Hell is real! Yep, it beat out Marvel, it beat out DC, Godzilla, everything that I like.
Join us, Mark.
Nope.
Search your feelings. You know it to be true.
Oh, one of the other things I did during the pandemic, I read through all of the Thrawn trilogy of books.
Oh, nice. I know one of the big rumors
the
is
real sequel trilogy. By
I
the
know
way.
one of the rumors for Nintendo is that we'll get a new Mario Kart.
Oh.
Which makes sense because technically Mario Kart 8 was a Wii U game. So we technically are kind of due for
How about a new
Mario.
Punch-Out?
They tend to see that as like a tech demo game.
Yeah.
But I mean, I could see them doing something with that on the Switch.
Yeah.
You know, because you got the Joy-Cons. You can
Yeah.
easily
Uh-huh.
make that into kind of a...
I don't know. When it comes to my personal taste, I wish there was some sort of like story attached to it. Like Metroid had some semblance of story attached to it, and part of the joy of Metroid was discovering stuff. But like with a game like Punch Out, you just get in the ring and punch.
Adrian!
There's not much story in a game like Punch Out. I can understand wanting to keep it simple, but like.
You know what other gaming franchises come back, like fighting-wise, is Darkstalkers.
Well, that's on Capcom.
Yeah.
That's on.
Yeah,
That's
they're too
on Capcom.
focused on Resident Evil, Street Fighter.
And they did really.
I mean, at least they revived Mega Man.
Yeah.
The last Darkstalkers game they released was Darkstalkers Resurrection, and it was just a collection, an HD collection of the old games. And even though those games run really good, it did not sell well. And to Capcom, they're like, "Oh, nobody wants to buy it. Let's
I'd
just
like to
put
see-
this back on the shelf." That it was just that. To them, it was just them, quote unquote, testing the market to see if people would want to get it.
I'd like to see a new Power Stone. That series was pretty cool.
You and another person I know on Twitch wants a new Power Stone, but no, Capcom will not want that.
I mean, the game that I would love to get a sequel.
I know one game that you would want: Rival Schools.
Rival Schools?
You've never heard of Rival Schools?
I've heard of it. I've never played it.
Capcom fighting game. It's a Capcom fighting game. Basically, this is the school Sakura goes to,
Oh, cool.
but it does not focus on Sakura.
Oh.
I think she makes like a cameo, and that's just about it.
I think
her
so.
friend is a playable character,
cool.
but then but the main character is like this, delinquent kid.
Yeah.
And then there's all these other kids from all these other schools from across the world coming in for
Yeah.
a tournament.
Well, one thing I'm very sick of is that like we are getting Godzilla games, but they're all crappy mobile ones. When are we going to get an HD release of the Destroy All Monsters trilogy, or at least an open world game, or a Lego game?
Toho won't allow a Lego game.
That would be pretty cool, though.
Yeah, I mean,
And
we
from
got
what I hear-
Jurassic World. Why
And
not?
because Toho's legal team is actually scarier than Disney's.
Yep, they are.
They are.
What other games did I want to see come back, or like something proper? Shit. Well, I know that I really want to get a laptop, a gaming laptop, and play TF2 and probably some upcoming PC games.
How did you feel about the PUBG Godzilla vs Kong event?
Download Mugen PUBG. What?
There was a Godzilla vs Kong event on PUBG.
There was?
Yeah. I think PUBG is Fortnite, right?
Oh no,
I
that's a
think-
different game.
no,
Yeah, I
PUBG is
heard
a
about
different
that.
game.
Yeah, I heard about that. That's
but
right.
it's mobile. But it's
I
mobile as
know.
well.
I know.
And it's just you, turret sequence, helping Godzilla and Kong
Yeah.
fighting Mecha Godzilla.
Also, I don't give a crap about Fortnite. I don't care what they do. I don't care if they would put in Godzilla. I'm still not buying Fortnite. You can add all the Marvel and DC characters you want.
A guy, have you ever heard of a guy named Maximilian Dude?
I don't think so. No.
He's a Twitch streamer. He's like one of the big ones, and Fortnite does not interest him in the slightest. But it's almost like they've been trying to like reel him in with all these things that they're adding that he loves. Like they added the Predator, they added the Alien, they added Terminator, they added
They added
Street Fighter.
They added a bunch of franchises that are now dead.
They added Street Fighter, and they kept.
Well, no, I say like all three of those franchises you just named are freaking dead.
Pretty much.
Did they add Back to the Future or no?
I don't know. I know they add Rick and Morty.
Thank God Robert Zemeckis actually owns the rights to that, so they can never remake that until he dies.
Yeah.
Hopefully he lives long enough for it to go in public domain.
That's a long time. Because public domain is...
please
like
tell me
years or
there's
so.
at least a Zemeckis estate.
I don't know, maybe.
If not, he needs to get on that, like, right away. We got a Tolkien estate. We got a...
yeah, but
Lucas
the
estate.
Tolkien estate doesn't apparently care anymore.
A Siegel and Schuster estate. Isn't there a Stan Lee estate?
Yeah, probably.
Wouldn't be surprised.
Yeah, but I don't think the Tolkien estate
Is there a Bob
cares
Kane?
anymore.
Is there a Bob Kane estate?
I'm not sure.
Maybe.
But I know Lucas wants... He regrets selling the rights to Star Wars to Disney.
I would, too.
I sold my children into slavery.
Oh, boy.
And it's topical because we're sitting here with a Boba Fett standing right there.
Yep.
You looking at me? You looking at me? There's nobody else here. You must be looking at me.
Oh, yeah. Since our original topic was about COVID, did any of you guys get your vaccines?
Yeah, I got mine. Probably close to a month ago.
Oh, you haven't gotten yours? You're, like, undecided?
I'm undecided because this thing is still relatively new. And...
Well, I know they said that there's some little bit of side effects, but all I had was a sore arm. Like other people, I think if you're immunosuppressed like Brian, you might suffer like some flu-like symptoms.
Yeah, I basically had full flu symptoms for about 2 to 3 days.
yeah, it's still a relatively new thing, and there's still not much known about it. I know they keep saying it's safe, but
Yeah, I just waited until like
that's the thing.
people I knew got it, and then like heard stories, and I'm like, okay, whatever. Because I wanted to get the Johnson & Johnson one, but we all know what happened there.
Yeah.
So I decided, okay, I don't care what I get, just as long as I just get to do whatever I need to do.
I'm sure I may get it in the future, but until I know for sure that it is actually safe and there are absolutely no drawbacks, then
You're going to be waiting like 5 years for that.
pretty much. You never know. Maybe 3 or 2.
Who
I don't know.
knows?
I don't know.
Let's see. And then there was silence.
I mean, maybe
So-
we should wrap it up if we're kind of running low on material.
Well, I could tell you that. Well, I could tell Brian the thing I shared with you with something about Death Note.
Okay, it's funny.
Okay, so the other day I saw a video clip where somebody voice acted an interaction between Light Yagami and Grimm.
Yeah, I've seen that.
Oh yeah, it's a good one. Wait. Okay, I'm gonna say it, and you be the judge of my performance. Light. An old woman bumped into me at the grocery store, spilled almond milk all over me robe. Now I have to go back to the cleaners. Oh, if only someone would do something about Mrs. Bethany Stevenson. Here, I took a picture.
It needs to be higher pitched, and it doesn't really sound like the kind of Jamaican accent that Grimm went for.
Funny thing about that, I think they were trying to have Grimm.
they were trying for a different accent.
They
I
were trying
forget
for a
which one.
Swedish accent, but it
Yeah.
always came out Jamaican, and the
And they kind of just
creators
rolled
were like,
with it.
you know what? Screw it. You have a Jamaican accent now.
Yeah, they kind of just rolled with it.
Yeah. Oh yeah, because wasn't there like a Swedish film about the Grim Reaper? And I know that in the Animaniacs episode where they met the Grim Reaper, he had a Swedish accent.
Yeah, that was me. Yeah, there was a Swedish film, or maybe even it was a Swedish story of like.
See,
the
now
Grim
I'm
Reaper
I'm
playing
just
chess with
imagining the Grim Reaper going. He did a birdie, he did a reaping.
No, baby, no, Mandy.
Snurly flugy, snurly birdie, snurly snurly.
Oh, the Billy, oh, the Monday.
Oh shit! Oh my god, that would be funny. If we just did that through the whole podcast. What was I gonna say? Oh shit! Oh yeah. I don't know if you heard what I said, but apparently, Pattinson is doing a remake of Nosferatu.
I don't like Patterson.
Yeah, no one does.
I mean, I don't hold Twilight against Patterson because it's like he knew those movies were crap, and he just kind of was just doing what he
was
had
just
to
doing-
start his career.
Exactly. I don't fault him for that. I fault that he became a diva.
Yeah.
And once you go diva, it's like automatic. Like no.
You know who else I don't really blame is the guy that
With a walk like that, you know that the diva life picked you.
is Finn Jones, the guy that played Iron Fist in the Netflix series. I mean, well, his acting was kind of bland, but like the whole show was bland. I can't really think of one saving grace
that's
from the
largely
show.
down to the showrunner. I think it was it Scott Buck?
I don't know, but
something?
like people were saying it's up because Iron Fist is an Asian. Have they ever read the comics?
Well, I mean, like I think the
I don't
showrunner
know.
was
I don't know. Has the director for G.I. Joe Snake Eyes read the comics? Has he looked up the material for Snake Eyes?
well that one is that one's painful in the fact that goes against the original author who is himself Asian.
Exactly.
Like the original author did that to kind of bring to light to the fact that yeah, Asians can also be racist.
Exactly. But because Hollywood, ninja, bleh.
Yeah. Oh yeah. When I was talking about Iron Fist, the only show that I could think of was better than Iron Fist was Inhumans, because at least
You mean worse?
No. I mean, Inhumans made Iron Fist look good because at least Inhumans had Lockjaw.
I was gonna say I think that's the same showrunner.
Oh,
I think that the showrunner of Inhumans did Iron Fist.
Yikes. Yeah, I think so too. That's why it sucked so bad. I mean, if we didn't get Eternals, we could have gotten Inhumans.
I mean, the thing is they've always been trying to bill Inhumans as bargain basement X-Men ever since they, kind of couldn't use them. They've just been trying to push them as an alternative.
And nobody wants it.
Yeah. I mean,
You can have your giant cute dog, but
You can't
nobody's
do
gonna
this. You
want
can't do the
this.
same thing with Eternals that you can do with X-Men. That's the problem.
Precisely.
They should have been built. They should have built them on the idea of Game of Thrones. That's how you do the Eternals, because that's essentially what it is. It's royal politics.
I thought that was Inhumans.
That's what I'm saying. Eternals. They should have used Game of Thrones as a template.
You said
for,
Eternals.
Oh, sorry. For Inhumans, they should have used Game of Thrones as a template, because that's essentially
Inhumans,
what
Eternals,
it is.
what's the difference?
Yeah.
I know there's a difference, but who cares?
No, yeah, in terms of notoriety.
I mean, I'd rather pick Inhumans than Eternals.
Yeah, because there is a grain of things you can do with that.
Oh,
Like I said, for
speaking of
Inhumans, you
Inhumans,
just use Game of Thrones as a...
you know how Kamala's an Inhuman? I think I heard that.
Yeah, they are changing that.
Yeah, they're changing. I think they said that they didn't like the actress that they got for Kamala for the upcoming Disney Plus.
Really? I hadn't
Yeah.
heard that.
I don't know. That's just a rumor.
I mean, I'm not surprised they would get rid of the Inhumans backstory because
Kamala is just a cursed character.
Well, I'm not surprised they would get rid of the Inhumans backstory because it's overly complicated, and the Inhumans are basically pretty much not a part of the Marvel series anyway. That's they like to pretend that they don't even exist.
Yeah.
So it's like I'm not surprised they're getting rid of that backstory and just putting in a different backstory.
Yeah.
It's
So
not-
I heard that they're gonna probably put the royal family of the Inhumans in either probably the Miss Marvel show, but it would be cool if they were in the Fantastic Four movies because they made their debut in the Fantastic Four comics.
Well, yeah, and Crystal has a thing with Johnny for a while before
Yeah.
getting together with Quicksilver.
Uh-huh.
Well, with Quicksilver dead,
Oh yeah, the actor that played him is gonna play Kraven.
that would mean, well, with Quicksilver dead, that means Human Torch is now on the rebound.
Well, I know that for Kamala Khan, they're going to change it that her powers come from, I think, some kind of a bracelet thing.
Oh, really? Not the Terrigen Mist?
No, like I said, they're completely getting rid of her connection to the
Inhumans?
Inhumans altogether.
I see.
Hell, I think I heard one rumor. This may just be the person completely misreading the whole bracelet thing. I think somebody said that she's not even going to have the same powers. But
Oh, really?
I think that was just somebody reading the whole thing about the bracelet. I think she's going to have the same powers, but they're going to be tied to some kind of bracelet thing. I think it's more they just want to cut off the
Inhumans.
Inhuman connection.
Yeah. Speaking of, the sequel to Captain Marvel is going to be called The Marvels, which will probably have Kamala, Monica
Yeah.
Rambeau.
It's like I said, they are trying so hard to push either Captain Marvel or Miss Marvel to be the new face of the MCU. But
Well, who do they have left? That's the thing.
maybe not just the MCU, but Marvel Comics in general. They're trying to push either one of those two to be the faces. But with legacy characters like Spider-Man
But
or
here's
Captain
the-
America,
here's the-
that's not going to happen anytime soon.
Well, I mean,
They're trying their damnedest.
But they don't care about the comics. You got to remember that they don't care about the comics.
I know they don't care about the comics, and that will be their downfall.
In terms of the movies and the TV shows, it makes a little bit more sense because they got rid of, most of the main Avengers. Spider-Man's probably going to go back to Sony. It's like, who do they have that they could make the flagship Iron Man character?
Too bad.
Mr. Fantastic.
To be fair, yeah, I will give you
Wolverine.
that.
I think Wolverine was too overused.
Yeah, Wolverine is kind of still too associated with Fox.
Yeah.
And I feel like when it comes to the X-Men, they focus too much on Wolverine
Yeah.
and not enough on the other X-Men.
Yeah. Hopefully
Why-
they do that with them.
Why don't they focus more on Cyclops?
Yeah.
Honestly, I think they actually could have had a decent dynamic if they built up Doctor Strange as the new Iron Man and placed Carol as a kind of opposite of Cap.
Yeah.
Like that same relationship, but with different personalities.
Wait, so you're saying like the same relationship, but like flipped personalities?
Well, where like Carol's kind of instead of her being the nice guy, she's kind of the straight-laced kind of military person that you usually see.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, but that worked when she was Miss Marvel, not Captain Marvel.
Yeah.
And it's pretty clear that Kelly Sue DeConnick does not want her to be like that Miss Marvel. She wants her to be a man in a woman's suit.
Or if Chadwick Boseman didn't pass away, what if he was the new face of the MCU?
That would be incredibly difficult because we just basically went through the gauntlet of 3 of his well-known villains. We already saw Man-Ape, Claw, and Killmonger
And they wasted
in one
Claw.
movie.
And they wasted Claw.
They did. Well, I know that for the sequel it's going to be Namor, but if they do a third one, who are they going to pick? Yeah.
But I mean, I think there could have been a way to make Captain Marvel work, and I think Doctor Strange would have been a good juxtaposition where you have a character who has cosmic level powers on a team with a character that has cosmic level magic.
Yeah.
I think that would be an interesting dynamic.
Mhm.
I think that could have worked.
All right. You know what? I think we should call it quits now. I think we talked a little too much. We went
Yeah.
a little overboard. So yeah, we went like past our 2 hour time.
Yeesh.
Yeah. I don't even know if Renee knows.
All right, well,
Well, let's ask. Renee?
He's not there. I think he's out there.
I know. I know, you ruined the illusion.
All right. I think he's coming.
Yeah. So it's going to be a while before this actually comes out.
Yeah. All right, Renee. I guess you could kill it.
Well, until next time, see ya, everyone.
Yeah. See ya.
bye.